All right. If you could be known for only one thing, what would it be?
A good man.
What's the greatest lesson in leadership you've learned as an entrepreneur?
Greatest lesson that I've learned as an entrepreneur is servant leadership is just better than trying to get people to do what you want them to do is leadership. But in my style, I think you lead by example by being a servant leader and not just telling people or talking about, trying to be a motivator is not really the style, but actually motivate them with actions is mainly the style that works.
Beautiful. What personal characteristic has been most pivotal to your success?
The one personal characteristic that's been pivotal to success is the ability to work with different people with different personalities, understanding what drives them, what motivates them, and how to deal with them in different situations. Different scenarios present different type of behaviors. For some it is push, some for some you pull, some for some you're patient, right? So really understanding what drives people and really understanding what motivates them and acting accordingly.
Hmm. Yeah, deep lesson. All right, so we're going to go from the profound to the random. I got my random question cards here. Just tell me when to stop cutting this
It's a
deck.
big stack. You can stop now.
Okay. Top question. What would you most like to do for someone else if you had money and time?
I think I'm already doing it. I think the one thing that both I'm doing it, and in a sense, my daughter's just started. I don't believe in getting a horse to drink to to take it to a pond to drink water. I believe in training it in such a way that it can actually figure out how to get there and do it by himself or herself. So as part of that, we've developed a program in rural communities and areas that are relatively low income neighborhoods to really take those people and put them on a path that puts them towards success, mainly in technology, right? Where we know things in technology that the IT unemployment rate is less than 1% for the longest time. So if we can train people in skills that will make them employable, I think it raises the standard of living for their families and makes a huge difference. So that's what we're already doing as part of our technology services firms, really bringing them in, OJT, on job training, shadowing, and then helping them go into the workforce.
Yeah, beautiful story. Now, can you name a book that's helped to forge you as a leader, entrepreneur, investor, and tell us a story why?
So most people touch upon, the book about Rich Dad Poor Dad, which is sort of a classic that everyone really looks towards. And I always keep thinking, why do people resonate so well? And I think it's the whole aspect of storytelling and really driving that aspect. And I think for me, I think that book was pivotal. Obviously, I've seen a similar lesson in life with my own dad and how he shaped my thought process of always running your own business or being an entrepreneur. I didn't have the poor dad mentality. I always had the rich dad mentality. So I resonated very well from that standpoint because of who what my dad did to me for me.
Beautiful. Can you name a tip or trick that our investors and entrepreneurs can implement in their business today?
I think when you talk about a tip or a trick, I think what I've learned over the years is building trust. Building trust meaning we never want to present, I wouldn't say people lie, but in the sales language they use the sales you know basically the leverage that you can take in trying to sell something. But if you're a business owner or a syndicator or someone that runs a private equity, don't try to oversell just to raise money or just to get a short-term benefit. And you're seeing all the people that are getting killed right now with this market, they've always gone out and oversold what they could do. So really know what you could do, and if anything, never lie or never use the leverage that sales you trying to sell gives you, where you're on the borderline. You always want to have that trust built with people, that you will tell them as it is, and not someone that will sugarcoat things. So, yeah.
I love it. The greatest tip or trick is don't cut corners. Don't exactly. There's no shortcuts. I love it. Well, can you send us out with a quote to help forge our listeners as leaders and entrepreneurs?
I think the number one thing that I'm going through life right now is the biggest thing has always been, for me, strategy eats action for breakfast. You know, your action is the cure all. It's basically, if massive action is what fixes everything. you know if you can think about a business, you can think about an idea, you can think about something, but you can keep thinking. And people do it with exercise, people do it with meditation, people do it with many other things that they want to do. They just want to do it but never actually end up doing it. Think about this. Think they spend more time, more hours in their head than actually just doing it. So I think that's what I've always wanted to live by, and I continue to live by.
So true. If you could worry 1,000 years, it wouldn't add a day to your life. Just get out there and do it, do it, do it. I love it. Well, I love to connect people. And what I want to do before we wrap up is I want to know who's the ideal person to reach out to Kranti Punham. Who are you looking to connect with, network with, or do deals with as a result of this podcast?
I would love to connect with any upcoming entrepreneur who's starting a business. Could be real estate, could be any business, who's really needs help either with from a go-to-market strategy, from a sales strategy, from understanding how operations build, or in general, how is an organization built? How do you think? How do you what pieces that you need to bring into it? What point do you invest into your business, and at what point you scale back? Anyone that actually is an entrepreneur who's looking for advice, those are the people that I'd love to keep in touch and talk to, because I learn a lot from them too.
Love the focus on service, Kranti. Just want to make sure that our audience is able to reach out to you. So email, website, carrier pigeon, smoke signal. What's the best way to reach out to Kranti Punham?
The best way to reach out is obviously all the social media platforms and my website, krantipanam.com, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, any of those social media platforms. I'm pretty active. So LinkedIn being the most active on.
Outstanding. We'll make sure that we have all those links in the show notes below. And I would just like to thank you for taking the time to share your knowledge and experience with our audience, Kranti.
All right, thanks a lot, George. It was great meeting you again, and hopefully we'll keep talking.
Yes, absolutely. We'll continue the conversation. Always a pleasure.
All right, thank you.